Emma Thompson moved with heavy, measured steps through the dimly lit hallway of St. Mary's Hospital, the fluorescent lights casting an almost otherworldly glow on the sterile white walls. At her side, Max, her brother Jack's steadfast dog, trotted quietly, his leash gripped tightly in her trembling hand. Each step seemed heavier than the last, weighed down by sorrow and the unbearable uncertainty of the moment. She glanced down at Max, his loyal eyes looking up at her, a silent anchor. He didn't know the full gravity of what was happening, but his quiet alertness suggested he felt the shadow of it all. As they neared the door to Jack's room, Emma faltered. Her body hesitated, as if trying to resist the goodbye looming ahead. The stillness inside the room was suffocating, broken only by the rhythmic hum of medical machines. The air was thick with the sharp smell of antiseptic and medication, a cruel reminder of their harsh reality. She tightened her grip on Max's leash, as though seeking strength from him. Inside, Jack lay motionless, his once vibrant presence now reduced to fragile stillness. Emma's throat tightened as she fought back tears. Max stood at her side, his head cocked slightly as if sensing Jack's presence, his loyalty unwavering. To Jack, Max had been more than just a dog, he was family, a companion who stood by him through everything. Bringing Max here was Emma's way of trying to bridge the gap between Jack's quiet world and the life he was slipping away from. The soft knock of the door startled her. A doctor entered, his expression composed yet somber. He explained Jack's condition gently but firmly, the severe brain injury, the slim odds, the heart-wrenching options. Each word hit Emma like a wave, her hands trembling against Max's leash as she tried to absorb the enormity of it all. Yet, through the haze of despair, she noticed Max's stance change. He stiffened. A low, almost imperceptible growl rumbled from his chest as he positioned himself protectively between Jack and the doctor. Emma blinked, her tears momentarily forgotten. Max had always been calm, gentle, a dog who rarely reacted strongly to strangers. But now, he stood firm, his body a barrier, his growl a quiet warning. "Max," Emma whispered, kneeling beside him. "What's wrong, boy?" Max didn't break his focus, his eyes locked on the doctor with an intensity Emma had never seen. For a moment, her sorrow gave way to confusion and something else. A flicker of doubt. Animals sense things humans can't, Emma thought, her heart racing. Could Max be reacting to something they'd overlooked? Summoning her courage, Emma turned to the doctor. "I need you to re-evaluate Jack's condition." The doctor hesitated, his professionalism momentarily faltering. "Miss Thompson, we've run extensive tests." "Run them again," Emma insisted, her voice steady despite the turmoil in her chest. "Please. If not for me, then for him." She gestured to Max, whose steadfast posture seemed to echo her plea. Reluctantly, the doctor agreed. The hours that followed were an agonizing eternity. Max sat by Jack's side, his presence a quiet comfort that filled the sterile room with an unspoken strength. Finally, the doctor returned, his expression unreadable as he held the test results. "There's something," he said, his voice tinged with disbelief. "A faint sign of brain activity we hadn't detected before." Emma's knees nearly buckled. She dropped to the floor beside Max, wrapping her arms around him as tears flowed freely. "You knew," she whispered into his fur. "You saved him." The medical team acted quickly, proposing an experimental treatment to stimulate Jack's brain. It was risky, with no guarantees, but Emma didn't hesitate. She clung to the fragile hope Max had given her, trusting his instincts as fiercely as she trusted her own love for Jack. As the hours stretched into days, small miracles began to unfold. A twitch of Jack's fingers. The brief flutter of his eyelids. Each moment was met with a wave of gratitude and awe. Max stayed at Jack's side through it all, his unwavering presence a testament to the bond they shared. When Jack's eyes finally opened, weak and unfocused, Max was the first to react, pressing his head gently into Jack's hand. Tears streamed down Emma's face as she witnessed the reunion. Jack's recovery would be long and arduous, but in that moment, the weight of possibility eclipsed the despair. Max had been more than a companion, he had been Jack's guardian, his silent hero. As the weeks turned to months, Jack's strength slowly returned. His movements became more deliberate, his voice stronger, his laughter more frequent. Through every struggle, Max remained by his side, a quiet supporter who never wavered. Emma often reflected on the miracle they had all witnessed. Max had seen what they couldn't, felt what they were too blind to recognize. He had reminded them of the extraordinary connection between humans and animals. A bond built on loyalty, intuition, and an unspoken understanding that transcends logic. In the end, it was Max's quiet courage that had saved Jack, and in doing so, reminded Emma of the power of love in its purest, most selfless form.